programme share na commencé à temer la bague le fa ka fem ko ma bala ka cha le fa ka fem ko ma bala ka cha be ndeme la bague bari be ben ka cha la be ko ma la bague so alim balal ali programme share kata ba ke na commencé ni programme bi da kan fana please ali balal ali share because it is really important na funde ngani ko nyindi amu janne ibe fa la parlement oto songol pareta le bari fana nyama ka parela so al programme share nyaata do man ni rek nga commencé da wato fo mata la way kan lamin kon de mamun yin ga ay domo men ke zurek malam fa o fali na mamun si ani sis la jala ala baraka ba ke baboy baraka ba ke definitely kuma ya batala you know sayna fati mamun ibe nyaadi mbe ko la nyaato ala baraka ba ke mbadi mo thank you so much men be jibe kan na platform be don albe kon tom baake sen na patio fanan kon tom na patio la nyaaton ko men ke la his excellency lo ya usiano no kunda dawo ni ala executive hol be anin na comrades all UDP diaspora mon be chapter kon be dula to salbe kon tom yin su dola so fen kula fundita ngo fonse fundinga te diam kata bake bawo ning ni sifanata fonse fundinga diam Gambia nimang beldo ken na falola adama barola masakunda ben nimisandira le be nimiso men kala nabe warla bake ala nimsa nyaabe warla bake ala nimso nyanyin abe warlan kam bake a few minutes dina banga fen check jamba be fen na confirm la malam fana audio bo fundi kanne from other platforms nga confirm kada bake nga no confirm kada bake just wanna confirm that. Okay, perfect. So na audio bo fundi kanji fanane mbadi ngolu kuo membe ke kan ning aliya kalamta alballa député ko mandira le pour yenana ni e kacha na UDP député ndolla ki west député wode aya ke ku baake bawo menyan nakata diamu parlemenoto je ko mollel ya sindi parlemeno nyinto andon je ko abe beti ala le pour nin ko nata jannin ka kacha parlemenoto aka fundindi kiam west ngolu kan pour be ya jibe nyofe kiam west la groupe ka fundindi je nyin kamala mol nga jibe nyofe tundo mol la miro be kala muneti banko mol la miro be kala muneti bilo nyin kam woto mbafala honorable Lamin Cissé ko ya baraka bake ani député dol min yalon koy bebe nyina ke kam bawo député ya be wala nyama e kasi mol le yeje tundo nyan naka loi menta wallante tundo nyan naka ko meye ko ha walla hani itela katara je tundo nyin to yala woto akumayata bake nin ko nata nyan naka men diamu ka fo tundo to yala ha walla hani e ka funtindi la tundo mol kan mol beke la miro ta ya foye yela miro ni ya warandi nyin kamala ko itenin tundo mol la miro sita député bunko na ya dila ya fo député bungo ko tala tundo mol la miro mo nyinati sonda bilo nyin nale wallanto manson bilo nyin honorable Lamin Cissé Mbaye akonton na bake anin na député ol be bar bi mbela fla député ol be nyin ka tani yalla moy ndol ka ke nyamen wala mo nin ko nata nga jibe ndol fon la perspective mo menati ay sense make la bang bilo nyin ak banko febola fo ate banko febola bilo nyin fana nin motif lebe akoma nga bilo nyin fana na motif nyin ta nga jibe nga landi mo nyako do be nga jibe nyu fe nga kacha nga dalila londi na bankora abitala nyameng député bungula kumaya atambita fe alal bilo men nata bi mbe men kacha la wala mu former president's bilti and in the judiciary bill ate manke kukutati ning alhaklo back a few months ago this same bill was taken to the parliament yasamba parliament otole ning kamala ko jojolu aning keep justice ning wato me yalan ko ye dahila do ko wala banko nyan naka monike ye banko nyan naka salary le londi ye banko nyan naka kuol le londi ye men yalan ko incentive so lam ko ning ayata nunko itolle la banko di yabe tijalla banko di ya nyato itolle la banko di yabe docteur la banko di ya nyato itolle la banko di yabe police la banko di ya nyato itolle la banko di yabe sama do kula la banko di ya nyato men fon ke to jola tax ila hard and money like menjo as taxes so ning ayata non ko itolle they are better citizens than those people nyimbel si fale de data on da fa bakal to mon jata ila fraka samba parlement to koteke so sa ye belief lolta ye kaf nyokan menketa the former president's building aning judiciary below ye député ole même fay nyamo kono ya murondi na koteke kaningi buildo nyin kafu nyokan nyin kamala ko mongo sa pasno nyame al balon na wolto ko mongo adam barola mansakunda do not mean well for the Gambia barola mansakunda de barola ko dam maleto barola sama wole be da kan sai barobe ala sama la da kan nyin kamala ko abe tala ke ka Gambia dingul ta ke susu nyaadi le fojani lu menate be fala aninga la dimbali be fala barobe parerin ka wala ke Gambia dingul la wala sabu député olu sakonto la UDP député olu we could talk to you people because you people were selected by UDP militants you were selected you were voted in office by UDP members the other groups waliye nya kasa la le manso na ka faaliye but since saying almu constituency bele la député oti woto be diamulal yen ko mon ko almu constituency bele la député oti we are not going to spare anyone na opinion moment in bafalal yen as militants ning aliano alia ata ning almano alkanata albe mudla mol kanne ka foy ko alimbalal alia carte o fanam fayenya sama wo fanam bentaral lo rinjanne be sila bo fana wato nyi fanam batunal wala ya sabu mbe kala ka diamu ko wala le especially things of this importance kanana ka discuss jam molye pour ya kalamta membe kere menu ben jibe kam Facebook o do atolde bilo nyi jeno la bati menu ben jibe kam YouTube mbenda screen o share le because mbe computer use kan waleto so wodo mbe screen o share no woto le wol mbe bilo nyi betalla karanka nyame wol be bilo nyi jalale as better like a scroll down pro wol nyai below nyinje mbe men kachala ya kalamta ko mbe nyine kachaka. So atol menu yalon ko albenji be ka YouTube. Let's go together. Nyina mo below nyinti me yalon ko ilafta ko wala pass. Bimbe diamula former president Bill Damala sama binala to talk on the judiciary bill. The former president's bill, the benefits of the former president, accommodation and personnel of a former president, the protocol service of the former presidents, the health insurance of the former presidents and his or her spouse, the vehicles of a former president, security for a former president, vacation for former presidents, allowances of surviving spouse of a former president. So ni below jibe ni mota ta watu menna ko ala president ya watu nying abandale sign ala sabati dula ani mol men ya lon ko men betar la balaka mako ya la lungo hajolla banko nyan ka wasifa ke na former president wen na former president fana ye right sotole ninyi loi pasta protocol official andi ma fu protocol officer jelle famu fabe kala tan sabalade fabe kala taw worolati wol nyanna ka dialale wol letala bul dok wala andu masakundale ba wol jola ko do nyinna na former president wala health insurance me alon ko de bama ni te bama be nakuto dok wala be wo risk beta kan exposing themselves with to these chemicals ibo beta kan nyawjara ni nyama imang health insurance fango soto comme ko ning ayatare nun ko nyim former president wol wollel fisatan to lawlu lalti wallanto natijalti na no solti na police solti so be health insurance sotolale ani la musol ni la dimbayalu bol be nyam naka health insurance sotole sa sifa wo sa sifa e ma ni sa lo me yalan kate jarla no Gambia i mantra president yala nyawnyala ni nyama bari be bondi la Gambia la ye samba banku diate andung ala loptane biloni banko la ranke soto abe bola wolata abe jola annako mo la moy ni wo funa mbodege motolu min yalon ko former president wol be wolleli yusla na Gambia banko wala nyan naka motol sang na Gambia banko la nyan naka motol service amam fo moto jallom moto fula lomba moto sabalomba moto jalla nyan naka sela lifetime kono abe andung moto la modelo fana mamfo former president will be rights to be able to benefit vehicles from the states vehicle jallamu type jumalemu all those things are not mentioned in the bill. These are some of the issues many along below kono. The security for the former presidents. President will many along but president yala sign for the president ya band. Ila tanko alkajele lungo. Bao ntol manke president na mol manke president ngamo hanibi ye mole tara ya jolong kolongo kono kabring lokum fula ala mol banyi ni ka dinde mo imaje bi ya tara amari be jolon nin kolongo na be farin tankote banko ka nyawnyana ni nyaw ye nya kasi wo tanko lu belale bari say ya lon ko ila manse yal kana ba wato menna ilafta itolye tanka ni la dimbali tanka say ndol bawol dun dol fawol dol dimol dum feytol lel fisada wolti say ilafta le hanni bota president yala tanko bunda mo le tare kantaka mo jello mo keme fula lomba mo tan woro la lomba wala tare to ni la dimbali be kantaka nyinga mala ko ye ku furi won ben jakabri be manse yala wato mena volcana bule no kan bari ka hada madi mo e ka tanka ni hada madi mo la bari ala mo ka tanko ke no ani wote mo andum former president fana na li fo way ñu ya bateta de ha so the vocation of the former presidents na lafta bita li fo la america le lokum na lafta bita li fo la Angleterre le sangosan banko le be ala paso jola ibe sabat la damanto banko le bakela ibe any cost incurred during that holiday, that so-called holiday trip na banko le ba bekela ñim fana dabe ñi bilo ñi nakona. And lastly, the allowances of surviving spouse of a former president ala musol hanning president ko roñi atata le fafata ala musona dimbali bege wol fana banko be wol fana top wuta ala ya to pato fu jande lu menna ala muso fana bidala yowmal qiyam ñillel mu ko woti ñillel mu ko furi molti men yalon kay beñi bilo ñin kono ku furi molti men yalon kay beñi bilo ñin kono. So the pension allowance and the other benefits to be charged on the consolidated fund, and the former presidents are going to be exempted from paying taxes. Imanta ka namu jo banko kan ning moye president yaki fa pareta abotage ñing benefitol nga ñin men be fonante ala health certificate or insurance, vacation, security, vehicle allowances, and the surviving spousal benefits, accommodations and personnel of a former president, and in the protocol services. Aside all of that, amanta namo jola, amanta tax jola hand demanding. And the duration of the pension, gratitude, allowances, and other benefits. State funeral for the former presidents. So alanga dunga kono sa bilo nyim fongo ay muna fongo be entail. Ay muna fongo be entail. Nga wol bondi nyo kono sa inten. So ye mem for ye part 2 ye mem for ye wolo manyinti an office of the former president shall only subsidy during the lifetime of the former president from date of his or her ceasing to be the president. So nyim benefits will be commencé la what is wrong ning about the president yala wato men nyim benefits will be commencé la andum ko nyim membe je albalo nalanka mem falia. The government within 6 months after a president leaves office shall furnish and equip the office of the former president to the standard of cabinet level and shall employ not less than 4 staffs, including a personal assistant and personal secretary. Na state house of Benyamin, Nimota la fa bota president la fa pareta, bankonya naka office di alale. Office nying anafa be kala munati, tinya de kenseng, kunda ya kenseng, misplaced priority kenseng. And no wo office nying bankonya naka mendi ale, kamendi banja wolong. Office nying anyan na kela le konna state house or cabinet o Benyamin exactly. Office nying nyan naka ke wolenya. That is gonna cost the Gambian taxpayers hundreds of millions of Gambian dollars. And now the question is before you kala menna. Ning ayatara nunko yenyim base spend ning office nying kono. For how long is the former president going to request for another refurnishment of that office? Ase nole sang musang ayafo ko na office nyi lafta ka amutale nga kuda andi kuke. Abe luwala kono bangole bakela. Wala sabu na dipitelu alnyande ke kula bakele. Ning almalafi andi molye du nyola. Ning former president's bill. There is no single clause. Meya lonko it worth accepting namanji dlakilenti. Wala mu to organize or to give them the entitlement of state funeral. Nifa atawado menna. Kajeko banko be suno nyinta ke bade and state funeral. Namankawati, there is no single clause in this so-called bill. Meya lonko na dipitelu nyanaka entertain. Na bankolu nyanaka entertain. This is a fraud and this is a daylight robbery. The taxpayers, molbe kumbola Gambia hangiyo dol masado. Baroye all the promises I remember di mola. Kabe bohol nanka mol menusina. B Gambia blood will begin hangiyo mafon yalonke ba men yemukasado. And now these people are coming up with this nonsense bill that they are going to take to the parliament to convince our parliamentarians to vote for or to accept this bill. Nimusu nyaroti bangoy. And no deputy or deputy. Yenyi bilo nyinta ya fasa. Yalo munul be kumaganda ko monko deputy do libeye. Baro e femo fen sambe ka folo yes na UDP deputy. This time around people are going to be watching you people. Nying bilo. Aliya fu nying bilo e wato men nako ha. Mol balo na jerto ko monko tonya atol aliye sansa wonyintale aliya nyaile. Aliye sansa wotale aliya nyai. Let's go again. It was the pensions of a former president. Ning ala pension kodo be kala nyame. The government shall pay a former president for the rest of his or her life a monthly pension payable in arrears of an amount equal to the monthly salary of a serving president. Nintu mo me yalon ko mota ta president yala fa botege. Yagele komon ko bi ni Adam Barrow sama iko Adam Barrow manke president ko teke. Iko ala president ya banda billa saying atatale katala si manka mankundale tiltan saba kola ofiso nyana kade dain ofiso me yalon ka belo ko mun na cabinet bi nyame wada bor muji sa ala pension kodo banko Gambia banko na mola nam kodo kotake wobe kala kadiala le karwo kari salary pension salary belola e me yalon ko amanya nakada sa bitilo me yalon ka mu president wati aka kodo men nanka mo soto karwo kari banko ka jom men nakala salary mu walati ning ay daha presde ya fana na wato menna fo afongole daha bam fo Gambia dingol la bondige abetinyaro menna alawo president ya banding kola karwo kari bi aka ko do men sodo ala karifa wokko dikili wonying iba jola wolela wallanto mensiata wati karuo kari because iko munaketa iko president ko tole mati banko kan ndol ba wolbe na moto wolbe nakolto mfama wolbe siri suokono na tijalu be siri meni yalon ko ninkaro fata they have $4,000. Some of them are having 5, 6, 7 children wolbe kata kramolato wol muka wo fongo keno fango ye mukela dimbaya la ko be keno fango ye nyaka si wuti yalla ye nyaka si wo polisol ni wo nosol la e ka fonye ko ni adama baro wallanto yaya jamme wol karwo kadi nyanna ka kodole soto kodome ya lonko adama baro la bi salary be nyamen hanning ay da hafana banko nyanna ka jowo kodi kilimu nanka molla wallanto kodome fo siata wati. This is the nonsense of the highest order. This bill is the nonsense bill that you will ever see. Ko President Fongobe audacity and the lack of empathy to draft this bill. Kaje ko mungo nyiyeta mulla deputy bungo nyinkono. Now mune munyimu molla balafa dati Gambia di molla karala. Ngambera nyi wati mbe kurankuole be kekam. They went and transacted a dubious electricity bill with the government, or is it the private enterprise in Turkey? Kumambono nyamo kono. Now with Senegal, kumambono nyamo kono. Imagine how to solve that problem. Wokuram problem when you form solve la nyameng. Would be manke la problem what because ngafali ne ko nyulu mang Gambia dimul je di manke fendi saying menu be ka body Adam Barrow no kan ni mu ticalati wala mu police olati wala mu samado kulalati sayite fo ye mira ni bilo ni mennata me alonko imade da fen kamma Adam Barrow mangala justice minister Dawda Jallow bula kula kaje ko ani bilo ni deda nanga manke ka ate Adam Barrow fo mota ka fo mo sansang hanin sama boda president yalla nang ko rek ka fo mo sansang na manke ka fo mo sansang. That is why the parliamentarians must be careful. Nyimbilo ning alien nyimbilo entertain, you're going to have a big problem with molu many along yal sindige. Albo makon for Moela Gambial. Alanga tende below la koteke, nimbota wu pensiono. Pensiono equal to the monthly salary of a serving president. Let's go to the gratuity of the former president. Because the government within 30 days, till Tansabakola, former president from the date of the former president leaves office, the government shall pay a former president a non-taxable lump sum gratuity in sum equal to 6 months of his or her gross salary last received while in office, and such gratuity shall be paid to him or her only once. Saying, subhanallah. So ning Adamo Barrow bota president yala sa fa pareta. Adamo Barrow ko saying abota president yala fa pareta. Saying den ngamra ke jelle soto is it $65,000 is. Ninga bota president yala fa pareta ning karikilim bota la drong. Yalo ngala benefit sol be ngana ka commencer le. Ibe office lo line office mi yalo ka te fenkala ge na manke punta ya foni kuma kalantam 40. And wo office onying jorango bele nyana ka keje ko mon ko na cabinet be nyamen ko fana yebo je masa kunda fana nyana ka joko dolal kari folo me yalon ka boda mansa yala ingen na ka joko dolal ka jola salary men nanante wo fana da boru je ning aboda mansa yala ala tilitan sa bod drong ni wo banda as the former president ingen na ka laning monthly salary sifa fana la nyo kan ne fokari woro yo fana be di yala kew. So saying ibe vonyi ngala 60,000 multiplied by 6 when naka dialale different from inyan naka ala karifa jo nyi men fanan diala. So ikonyin do me alonko ala karifa jo ibalala nyo kan fokari woro yo fanan diala obakala yine ko mon ko kuru songo bari o ma bali fanan nin kar do fon fada ala karifa jo soro bari nyin do mala nyabu ramonti pour habita si kuno la menna abe balwo commencer kula menna because atemu former president walati he is used to spend a lot, he is used to fake life wallanto luxurious lifestyle. So prase woldol balundino ala karifa jobe di la ni wo fanam bodege ala karifa joy ba kondi la ko signa woro yo fanan diala andu ma bali nin kardo fanam fari mala wo karifa do mom fanan diala nanga mo mi alon ka ka men so do ka bere wotu mo mi alon ka mo president wati. You go to part 2, other benefits for the former presidents. Other benefits, nyani benefits dol men be fananten wada boru moje nyi dol fanam mu benefits so let many alon ko former president wolu nyen naka wala soto accommodation and personnel of a former president. Ngaji be member ko eko a former president shall be provided with a full furnished residence including utilities and other facilities for his or her comfort. Ning abota president yala watu men ngam fale jam accommodation ala sabati dula fana comme ko bi aba sabati in state house oto ika jelle diala almost $300,000 is every month dumuro damma ni wotu mo me yalon ko fana ala president ya banda already after 1 month na Gambia masa kundanya naka office diala le wallanta ala residence ala sabati dula te fona ala dimbal be sabati la damento Gambia banko la nyanna kata ko ye mara woto fanana andum ni ye ko residence nyim fanan diala sabati dula nyim fanan diala ala bungolu ala sirangolu ala larangolu abe Gambia masa kundale fanan nyanna ko fanan be kay toliye aning molu men yalon kay batankala fo janni president fo ba fala ko ha nyindo de wobe kanyan nam fele president le ba fala ko wobe kanyan nam fele nako nyim man comfort then I mel demand nyen na kanale la faje fujanni wato mi yalon ka ba fala ko ha nyindo de wen comfort le na lafta ba fala ko swimming pool lolu bungo sifa maybe 25 duplex houses fengo feng ka lafta la bungo nyin ko na nyen na katara gele. So these are some of the benefits many yalon ko wol fanan dabe benefit dol kanne wo dol ngamen fulo wol dabo roje. Look at the second one. Number 2, where a former president decides to reside in his or her own residence. Ning tumo me yalon ko na president ko to lutata fo itol fongol be sabatile fongol la bungol lelto fongol ye bungol mello e fongol ye wallanto ila family bungol kono wallanto ila inila family korda kono ning tumo me yalon ko itol fongol ko ibe sabatila woleto. The government of the Gambia shall maintain his or her residence and provide it with telephone, internet, and other facilities for his or her comfort. So, ni president wata atafu saying atafong ayajako koda babulu misale fi manga mangundale. So, ako masakunda be bugmendi la atamanta ala woto. Abitala manga mangunda bungo lato. Saying ala manga mangunda bungo, ala fengo feng asula ala bungo nyinkono. Masakunda le ba beke lagi. Iko anything member comfort la with emphasis on telephone, internet. So internet o mu buy for solati. Telefono fana mu buy force leti. So hanabe telefono mentala kala mul call masakunda le nyana kakai credit call be everything mbama wol kata na ko te ka men do kuje wona mo ni wol be jola je ka telefono ta ka credit ko kay officiel la bank comium la bank kala credit call wallanta la house line wala bank Gambia di ngul nyana ko be jo ate fujani lu menna be fala hani internet o be yalon ka ba use la le ni ngabota president yalla fujani lu menna be fala ndol Gambia di ngul na moto anyana ka bondi wolto ay di nyim former president wala ani fengo fe yalon ko wala bata comfort la ate lafta fengo fen na même bata niyo nyi landila Gambia di ngul nyana ka kay abe lu wala kono ni ngi bilo pasta anin ko ay wala min ay wala fring and wala ko nambe kala bawo abata la wato la abenu na banko la lu wala la sabanya way memfo because the government shall provide 2 cooks mo fula me yaron ke bakala katabiro kay ngalo na tangina ni njon la sise udol ni sise dampa subhanallah. So the government shall provide 2 cooks, 4 housekeepers and 2 gardeners to serve a former president in his or her residence, and such personnel shall be selected by the former president. So, do sa no do go sotlan ko ninyi below pasta do sa no ato okay ade bello kilale. So ninyi below tara fa pasta saying na masakunda na former president lu Gambia masakunda nyan naka tabirla dira tabirla fula mona ni me yalon ko wollel bakalla kala bungul topato mo fula men yalon ko wollel bakalla kala gadino de daye maybe ay ornamental garden soto wallanto flower min betala la ko danyen kono andum men volbe betala sabatini ngala kor daleto andum womolu fana president woni nyen na ka foko lafta ni mokar la pour wole ken na garden na kuntu rawati like men bakalla kan na garden kuntu nyimmo fula lafta wala men bakalla ka tabiro kenye nyimmo nano lafta wala men bakalla kan na bungu topato andum nyimmolu Gambia man sakundale be nyimmolu be jola andu nyimmo la joro be tendena le fojandi lumenna president wana la muso it will be ni sebab ni dunia kono but as long as nyim former presidents it will be balurin ne ila muso be balurin nyil mol be tendena la ke munafang nyin na fojandi lumenne be fala So let's say handing former president of Fatale 10 years before our wife befala. Ningate bodage fati tata. Nyimoli betenten nale kado ko kala muso e Gambia masakunda be kala ke jo fujandi lumena ala muso fana be bola dunia kon. Nyinel mu ku furu ngolti, nyinel mu ku nyewndi ngoti men be nyibilo nyin kon. Let's go to the protocol service. The entitlement of the former presidents in the protocol service, because the government shall provide a diplomatic passport for a former president and his or her spouse for life. Ni boda president yala wato menna, hanisa ila hadu mo kamala, ila fitale, Gambia masakunda be diplomatic passport di la telale, aninga la muso lale, fujani lumenna, atina la muso ibebe fala. So the former presidents are entitled to a diplomatic passport as well as their wives. Inila musul benya naka diplomatic passport osa tole fujani lumena ibebe fal. Nonsense so mantambi meya lonko ay nyinsi. Atol membe jiberola Facebook ala baraka bake. Men fone ya lonka be jiberola na YouTube channel auto ala baraka bake. Thank you. So ngamera adeba follow kan be menu kacha kanjam. Nonsense so membe ke kan na banko kan. So let's go again. Hansaya mumbang eko Hansai Nim Fongola mu protocol service. The former presidents shall be entitled to protocol within and outside the Gambia. Handing Ireland nunko na President Kotolu, ibe Gambia banko kan, ibe protocol official sotola and in the protocol services, ibe banko kan de bang, will better lay do wala. Komongo Adam Baro ning aidaha president yala watu menna. Abe manka bankunda. Handing a sulata karakaba fongola kalau kabala. Abe protocol officers of la member board le kabaka taena na sula dala telephone wala la bungono ay protocol officer ki waya kamaina. These protocol officers are going to be paid by the taxpayers' money. Our tax money is going to be wasted on these people. Many alonko they are not working for the state. They are not working for the government of the Gambia. They are making no input in the betterment of the Gambia. So nyulel be ko wonyin kono. The third one, when for Wolomu, at a public function, the former presidents shall take their seats in order of presidents after the sitting vice president. So that is it. So alangata health insurance, the health insurance for a former president and his or her spouse. Say la health insurance, it will former president will former kanila musol. The government shall provide a former president and his or her spouse with insurance cover for medical and dental treatment, including treatments abroad, if specialist treatment is needed which is not available in the Gambia. Ndebama se sasa, woletara Gambia, ite boro fongo sotola. Problem tiye, Dr. Amadou Samadeni Adamo Barobe kuma kuntam fole be fania fola Gambia di wole kabring 2016. Allah loktanul manyo soto Adamo Baro ba sasara ya fly indi ya samba turuki kata te jaraje. Nyim minister momo sasara ikebe sambale. Usman so ngamera wolbe kurande. Ale ya samba bandala ko tara jaraje. Ndol fuarol nyina sabunko kudol bege alenga da banga denkan na banga dan na banko ga nimma dam fonko better la ka psycho fancy ni display ati dan nan ko na banko ka ñi ñun ndiro man soto Gambia anyun ndiro aman soto Gambia adama baro hanna bo man sayala atini ya jamme be itol bela lockdown bilo ila insurance medical insurance hani ñimo ni ba kula comme ko nim fatma ba baro yaje ko mongo sa ñingo no batale adama baro mu ka jibe ba ka sadio ba baro la jibe misal fe wala ndo ya jamme yaje ko e senabu yaje ko ata ñingo man senya ba ka ala faka ko indi le because ni wonten ya jamme musome ñing ko ida ba ka aka bamba ba ka wala ko wotol asina aya ko Gambia masa ko ndai al ko do di nambita la turki la ngata ñingo kuje e fatma ba baro sina aya fo yo kal ko do di nambita la Dubai la ngata ñingo kuje bawo ñinku mo ka Gambia so ko do be di la le ay ta Dubai ay ñingo kuje ay murunna iko flanyo fana nintu mo men yalon ko Adama Barrow amanke president wato menna fala president ya ko la sanyi mu wonnam ban sanyi tan sabala lomba ni watu wo wati yalon ka sasata kodi wo kodi abajo la loktanoto kodi wo kodi na sasata nyanna ka jo Gambia man sakunda wala nyanna ka jar nintu mo men yalon ko sasa sifa fundita bala wallanto ala muso bala wallanto ya jamme bala bang wallanto senebu bala bang Gambia masa kundale nyanna ka kodo bondi ke samba banku o banku ya lon ko itol ko ibitala jaralo la walato ke samba ge ibitala loptano men kono ibitala hotelo men be la damento Gambia masa kundale ba bejo la fujani lu men ya je ko mon ko ikende dala ye murunna annu hanni sasa do fa na kotake me ya lon ko woni ni sasa do man kiliya fujani lu men to be fala sasa wo sasa ye ma ni lafta Gambia masa kundala ranki soto kodo be bola walato ye flyndi ye samba banda ye te jarage ningi luwa pasta alwani ay wala min wala sabu alanga diamu na député lié député ya lon ko nyimbilo billahi député ya lon ko nyimbilo imari ye bulo wulindala wo député o should be our target kaje ko mun ko ka bayna party yo kono nga make sure nga target for the next parliamentary elections wol manya nakatambi these are some of the ku furungul ku kuntawol men be nyimbilo nyin kono andum alman fe moy bilo nyin kono follow these people ni lafta ka moli yabule nga fo Gambia di ngole ko Adama Barrow manke mo katerindi Adama Barrow akmu aka wada mala mira ngene asaba ni UDP mantano muna mose Adama din kendoje ikanyi bil sifade da banko mi yalon ko ate fango muka malu fango aka afoko state house of fango no tumando jio muka sotege ni state house ko no tumando jio muka sotege andum ate ko wo banko la medical service is one of the best within our sub region ikana asi ikanyin kusi fa fo moli ko albe wala kala nyi ninte bota president yala wato mena komon ko na tele ba fudu tan tol ba wolti komon ko na tele fisa tan tolti komon ko ning atela family atela dimbayalu wallal mum hadama de ngolti ntol be mu be amati nyimbilo ay wala min ning nyimbilo ma womin fo Adama Barrow fisa tan tolati jati ya jamme wala fisa tan kontrol la fongolti bang no solti bang loptanol to molbe fa loptanol to borte je fende je ñim batara ya bilo ñim mennata ko do men bebe spen ñim batara ya bilo kunna hani la residence fo damma we ku jamala ke birka ma lopta lot ngamo kunu namuy ba fo kay ko mon ko na biggest health center men ke tadi Edward Francis Tiggin Hospital ambulance fla wada mala biji ambulance fla wada mala biji kate fay ko kana wato men albe ya kalam dal ye ambulance jama baka don lesa mada men ya lon ko ngal ye ko ye ambulance sel fu nan Senegal le nata Gambia ñi kamala ke so off Gambian people to entice the Gambians pour ye kadro fa Adam Barrow pay da pour ka do ko ke magele ay ambulance el kamana wo ambulance ol bi wolle Banjul RVTH ambulance fla wada male biji ambulance fla MRR masim man so Gambia ambulance so même ko do membe duna Adam Barrow la residence fo madama kunna ase ambulance su jamale sa maybe fla saba ase wo sang na loptano lien bawo Adam Barrow la residence ni luwanyi mennada is very discreet Adama Barrow lafta fengo fenna memba ta comfortable ndi la wala be kala je because ye wala fo until the former president's comfort is met alengata the vehicles of the former president hani moto ko be member ndi la ni la president ya banda hani moto be member ndi la Gambia la bakele Gambia masakunda le bakele hani la moto libe menu borondi la ni bota president yala wato menna ila president yame yalon ko imuka Gambia na fa fenna imuka development ki foka na tax men betinya with full of corruptions and misappropriation of our tax money wobe nyawnya ni nyama ilafta ni bota president yala fana mol nge muta nyeke moti ko mon ko to lel fisatan tolti ni na wululal be député ñu fay ñi dé tane ndolo now alila moy say motolu ni ngi boda president yalla wato menna ibe motolu men boroni la wala ko wol be nyaadi la number 1 the government shall provide a former president with 3 new vehicles moto saba ye moto la mako ki yeah Hadumo Mambete billahi. So the government should provide a former president with 3 new cheerful drive vehicles, including fuel, maintenance, tax, and insurance. So moto meni alon ko moto saba me alon ke bebe di la nyim president wala muto nyim fongo la fuelo Gambia masakunda la bagala fo jandi lumena wo president nyin kafa jandi lumena president kafa ala fuelo fongo fuelo gas fuelo fo isan so lomba Gambia masakundale bakela motola insurance o Gambia masakundale bakela fo jandi lumen nata kafa andu nata fa dafa na o maka nyande fo jandi lumen nala muso fanan kafa moto nyi nati nyata kala maintenance Gambia masakundale nyan naka o fananke Gambia masakundale nyan naka o fananke nyin totally niabe kafu nyoka nyin bidale billions of Gambian dollars. And this is going to be a continuous process until the entire family of the former presidents is completely off from the surface of the earth. Alangata, the vehicles of the former president, the government shall replace the vehicles of a former president every 5 years with new vehicles. The government of the Gambia shall replace the vehicles of a former president every 5 years with new vehicles. So haninyi moto sabado me yalon ko ya mention ge ning atata fusanjulu lo sita wo moto sabol fanam bebe replace lali ibol be bondi la gele ay woldi abarindi ngolla anen ala sungudo la danda wala bawo moto kuta dolel fanan kanana sanjulu moto kutale be sannaye moto kutol men yalon ke be sannan na Gambia bankola kodolla tijalo wol setu la fala bawo tijalla jote la fala ngina sabu kabri adam baro be jola fala last year ye jelle la fati yalla jokan $900 ye jelle la fa adam baro la jokan $45,000 Gambian dollars ye jelle la fa minister la jokan $15,000 Gambian dollars tijalu polisolu $900 wallanto mendo yata woti demanding itola salary lu $45,000 and $15,000 respectively ye wala faytul la jokan alinga jibe tol ninyun jumal ke jumal mu nyama toti ntol men kabori adam baro no kan nimbota class tungo kono karandola wato men al janjibe jam e balon nala ko mongo adam baro matol mira fendi adam akadol usle pour ka famo sansan no pour sama kamala abe balula nyamen aita wala sabu NPP Fox the younger ones within NPP anna join mol kambanga banko deda this ni bilo ni membe jang ni nyan nakakatule dalila kende dikaje ko mongo Allah life is not valued by Adama Barrow. Allah life is not valued by Adama Barrow. Allah life is not valued by Adama Barrow. Billahi wallahi tallahi. Now, alingata security for a former president. Alatango bundabe kala nyadi. Iko the government of the Gambia shall provide security for the full-time protection of a former president and his or her spouse for life. Adama Barrow, aning Fatoumata Barrow, Yaya Jammeh, aning anti Senabu Muna Kondodum, anti Senabu Suma Jammeh. Ila bodyguard sol mbole dilela. Bodyguard sol betarle bulo konole, fojani lumeni mufulo be kafa. Ibe bodyguard sol sotolale. So jannak again ngamen from namole wolonjenti. Yagel hani jam fongo damma, they should be provided with a security for the full-time protection. But security gel fangomu imawo fango for. Security gel fangomu imawo fango for. Security gel fangomu imawo fango for. Because iko ning aliajibe before iko president wala comfort foni wo metta. So ning Adam Barrow ya feel walando ya jame ya feel ko security mo nanta te tankala no abelafla mo tan saballa. Of course mo tan sabale be dilala menu be tarlate do ko wala bari man sakundale be wol jola man sakundale be dogoron late ya jame la ma fongol walando ate Adam Barrow ya. So security nyen naka provide yen. Maybe Adam Barrow be lafla security tan saballa. Farmana Barrow be lafla security motan sele la prukaje ko menu bate tankala no. Yes, because there is no specific number me alonka mention the jam and dung ye fongo fen demand bawo ning aliye close dol gibe nyaade ko until the president's comfort is met. So therefore ni any number of security demand wala be dilela until their comfort is met in their perspective and nu bangole be jola ndol bawol setara jele mulla dindingol betale be fala forest dandawal ibe dol fale be fala kolomot lungo li ka mulla bundala kati yene no ka sunyaro la fongola yeso murula simply because isula de la kodole mesoto wo be me concern. They are spending their energy on nonsense issues, witch hunting and intimidation, terrorizing the Gambian citizens, the peace-loving Gambian citizens. Many are they're spending their entire energy on that. Alinga janjibe number 12 hansayam kamambang malam fu bi fon be nyimba non e ko the allowances of surviving spouse of former president. The government shall pay allowances to the surviving spouse of a former president at a rate per annum, payable amount which is equal to 25% of the annual rate of gross salary of a serving president. Adam Baro la muso. Subhanallah. So Fatma Baro, Allahu Akbar. So handing Adam Baro e daha president yalale. Fatma Baro fana salary level olay. Nika Adam Baro jo, let's say say ka jo jalala, is it $100,000? So 20% of 25% of 100,000. Wole bekala $25,000. So every month Fatma Babaro Gambia Masakunda bekala ka jole amantrangi ananmando ko kenye amantrangi dokula ibekala ka jo $25,000 is every month, excluding ñi benefit dol ngo menu be fo jana alafta bungu menna alafta siro ngo menna alafta ka nyugo kudamento nasa sata ngasamba America ngasamba Spain ngasamba Turkey bawo Senegal iti keto sonna wala koteke nitu mo me yalon ko itare boda president yal Senegal wonde hande mamira wala America lon Spain Turkey na ba nyugo kula Turkey nikono di moya muta na lafta nikono di moya muta asafu ko mbitala America ngata njara je e se fake docteur o nyini docteur o memba fale ko mon ko nyinde jarala no boom bango bako do di dala abe bondi la na Gambia ranki solo kon abe bondi la na Gambia ranki solo kon abe bondi la na Gambia ranki solo kon nyanjo muso definitely of course Jammeh is entitled for it. Jammeh will be entitled for it because it's include all the former presidents. So right now the surviving former president is Yaya Jammeh ni Adama Barrow. But even Sadawara Kairaba Jawara, Alamuso, I don't know, is it Ning Aranuka Alamuso Balure? Alamuso is going to be entitled to these benefits, of course, because Niajibe, these benefits are for the former presidents and their spouse. So Haning Sadawara from Alamuso is going to be entitled to these benefits. So Alangata, the still on the allowances of the surviving spouse of the former presidents. The surviving spouse of the former presidents shall only be paid allowances during his or her lifetime. Ya coin nyao nyara ni nyao. Salary wole be lori ngai. That's 25% of alake mala salary. Bring up a president ya. Ni ba jola wale ka fo moli ko allowance solo mu ka nyinyandi. E ka jo salary la salary. $25,000 is karifa jo wole be lori ngai ka fo nyoko allowance solo. Nyinyandi kumolom bari memu wala mu ninka ro fani ka mol jomu dala fo ma salary la so e ka jo salary la dawre jalo ba nyandi kanjela e ka jo salary la mangi fankoti allowance darati oni lafte to sa fa ko di allowance ndol ba fla ne ko salary because ndol na mello ninti jall ninka ro fana tijalu e ka wol jo 4,000 la fadu mo da babaro na man do ko Gambia yi amma fenke Gambia yi na man ci ka Gambia tinya ake mala ma ko ro ko do ani ake mal influence ko do ani ala position ko do wo ke may bondi president yala ikoy karwo kani bagala ka $25,000 Gambian dollars is ledi la wala koni wala fisara kon dol bawati ni wala fisara dol bari musolti. So alinga part 5 GB the miscellaneous part number 13 equal the pension allowances and other benefits to be charged on the consolidated fund. The pension allowances and then the gratitude allowances of a former president shall be exempted from income tax. So honey be kodol men fo be dile karwo kari Adam Barrow be nyin kodol men dile $100 and something thousand is Fatma Babaro $25,000 is tax te jola kodo nyin kono $25,000 cash wala be dile wala to check there is no tax me alon ka be jola kono tax te jola kono tax te kuntla kono biiten Adama Barrow mo ka tax jo hanning saying ko mongo saying woro wemen min Adama Barrow betal le balu kan Gambia dingul yelo la fajani lu menna kafani ya jamme be bawo Gambia dingul le bakal la ka do ko ke ya diatela ataka domo ate namu jola hani ko do nyi kamen diala ite fenkundu la kono be membrul la Gambia di kan ka development o ke Gambia la so molbe kala ka diata lale atiya ka kono kono anin Fatmata Babaro wala sabu ni fara lakira molu balo nale munebe kala woto bari yalon ko Gambia di wulti yam fala ñin bilo depuis le ñim pass ni adambaro famu moti me yalon ka silat ala lale ateni molim bebe ñun koma ibalo nala koy betara hakol do mo kan fu jandi lu melni kafa e betara hakol do mo kan fu jandi lu melni kafa betara hakol do mo kan fu jandi lu melni kafa because the duration of the pensions because subject to this act all pensions allowances and other benefits created under this act shall only subsist during the lifetime of the person concerning or commencing from the day of a former president ceased to hold office as the president of the Republic of the Gambia. So, nying allowance sol ngani mem fo nante like Fatmata Babaro wallanto Adama Barrow la nyin taxol nante nyin taxol la jobalia kabri lu menna Adama Barrow bada president yala kadati wolungola fo jande lu menna be fala namujo Adama Barrow ning Fatmata Babaro namujo itol dabata ge fo jande lu menne be fala nyin ko do men bebe dilela abakalla kadila jufo la kono namute jola ge fente kundula ge annum hanni mum business le be bulo kono misal fe namute jola ji fana because we'll be more comfort let namti jolaje a former president shall be entitled to an official state funeral including traditional and requirements demand or determined by the armed forces nyindo ni agrita wato demanding wala mu nyinti kon na former president ni fata ye kuja uki nyawnyara ni nyam ye kuja uki nyawnyara ni nyam ka state funeral ke I will agree with them 100% on that ni fata ka state funeral ke but kafuko that state funeral the requirements must be determined by the armed forces of the Gambia. Water is little bit discreet because badeo manjara ka mulla kodo beti nyakunna yes be bunyala as our former presidents but kafuko munko illa frio fam iman son ka sanayandi makafu nyoko anyanna ka kinyamen femul be men nyanna ka dunje na Gambia sojarul la bundato wala nyanna ka foko nyim fankar ni nyim fankar be sulala wala ni wol ko be sulala million ke mafulala pour bade ngi keno luntangol membe bola nang Sierra Leone Senegal Nigeria woluntangol be la plain jol ni fengol be la domorolu the other dignitaries be la sidulal wani la domorol ni everything logistics so ni amount foko wala be bade yinsi la wala fanam be kala wato fongol yi haramo do mo fay furo famo be lareng ibe haramo do mo kan so Adam Barrow literally aba fongo sankan hana freo abe haramo do malal hana freo abe haramo do malal amuka nyinga ya jamere aka nyinga fongole billahi wallahi Adam Barrow ka nyinga fongo damale so hana freo abe tarla ka Gambia dingul la haramo do malal hana freo wala asamu yakije very discreet so iko saying the minister may make regulations general for the better carrying into effect of the provision of this act and other matters repeal the former president of his allowances and the benefit acts is repeal objects and reasons okay so mbadi mulu bilo nyik danta jannato former president's bill what danta jannato bari mbe former president's bilo yim fola almang judiciary bilo lagi ningali judiciary bilo je sorry alam bala nanate ado wani so mbe former fongo fola president koto la bilo mbo fola alman judiciary bilo loje nale judiciary la bilo je albe la ko na banko mu kata ko nyene asabu mo kuru men bebe nyi masa kunda kono ite sonna alaji usenu ye kata nyin state house la pour ka nyi banko mara bawo ning ale alaji usenu la miro jibe ani ñunu ke mira ñamen desan ala yusenu na ñim bilo jibe abe kumbola wallahi ni woke ba ñim bilo ta aya jibe abe kumbola wallahi abe kumbola Bao alaji useni yafo ning tumumbe yalon ka frata state house o kono kodo men katinya kadi molla state house la ka fo ko ila domorol la ñelti aba kundula la 75%. There is going to be no office for the wife of the president, that is the first lady's office. There is going to be nothing like the first lady's office, because the ala dalilo moment wala mu ako first lady mantra do ku kam banko e mune asabu bankola kodo be dunna kono a mantra na luwa kono mune asabu mbakela nyenel mala dalilo. Now look at this bill alone. Nentumo be yalon ko Adam Barrow botala mansaya albilo jibe ku kere tumo tuma yalon ko Adam Barrow lombang abotala mansaya karwo kare Gambia Mansakunda be kodomen spend na Adama Barrow kunto is going to be nothing less than 1 million Gambian dollars. Ning wati Adam Barrow bota Gambia la Mansakunda la presde yala sai. Nga bondi ji nyamu nyara ni nyama. Ala sunya robe tente na la fagandi lumen na kafa. Karwo kari ali mira ala jati kende ya bilola. Ni na lafte babon la Gambia la yasamba. Moto saba, moto la fuelo ni la maintenance ni la insurance be Mansakunda la nyana kari. Do kulaje lebe sar la bulo kono tabit la fula menu bala bungo fitala mo nani meni yalon kay bala gadi no de la mo fula wol be la jonya nakatara Mansakunda le bulo kono ni wala domorol ni wo fana mbodaje ila munne mu ko deke karifa e ba ko do mendi la Adam Barrow la ala bi karifa be nyamen ni ngay daha fongo fana na ko mansa ya fana na e ba karifa ko do mendi la be kala wolati ala muso ateka ko do men sodo wala 25% e bolo di la muso la every single month without any tax levied on that money. So tax the jola woko do nyento anno ngani membe fonante amanja Adam Barrow damal ya jamme fana be wala sodo la ani ya jamme la muso ya jamme bawol sodo la ani ya jamme la muso say ntaka for 1 million because fengo me yalon ko ila comfort be kanya na memfe amanja ko Mansakunda la ba decide la ko akanya ndale say ko ngo nga 2 million na spend ñun ko na hani itol fengo lel ba jibe la ko say ñina be tol ni land la no ko ila balwo ñi ñina ba ñi ñand la say kanya ndale ni fengo ko kanya nda wato men na lam abe kanya andu wo be kala munati o manke la karfa jotile o muy la sabati dula dinkrat ila sabati dula dinkra Gambia Mansakunda ba de dala ko mon ko na cabinet be ñame ani fendol men yalon ko ibe sulal ila nyinka mala pour ila balwo ñi ila comfort pamodu boja inyana ka nyin ko nyin bilo pamodu nyana ka nyin bilo kacha bake su radio nyin bilo e fundi banda mune be bilo nyin kono ay fundi banda Gambia dingol ya moy bawote itebe radio lato su FM Gambia be la kala moy nyin bilo ate mange politique akuti nyin bilo atemu bankola tankola mbe fuare ya men kono kana nyoje ko dolel fisata doluti dolel bawol futa dol bawol Adam Barrow janna kana man sayala Adama jibe ba kasama do men fango dumba Adama jibe akasama do men fango dumba Adama jibe ak dendi ko men fango dumba anata man sayala la balwo falinta to the point that nga expect ko asakeno ate batala no fujani lumen na be fala nyin kamala ko ay ko do men beta ay ko do men besodo ay asoto nyamen mbe ngalonde koy mantili bawala karfa jomu ko aussi bar hanwo ama wasano hanwo ama wasa hani ya jamme na ya jamme manyin bilisi fala nyin dictate janaka bo jam ni ko ya jamme amam pare talla wallanto atala bonya ya aya fenkandile aya terenne maybe mosalano wala do manne bare ngamuna fali en ngale ko mol men be Adama Barrow bala wo mo kilim lebe ya jamme felta damento ibe Adama Barrow sola idea la ka je ko ya jamme felta jannato ite manyan na kaso ye moni momo ke bondi wato lo man sayato wote nyanda ke famo sansande bilido binala gile ngawo expect bakele ka je ko bilo men binala même fanambe ya jamme la 1997 constitution o men be dunje ka je ko monko as a civil servants or as a public servants niye mismanagement okay wallanto crime okay te blokono intentionally or accidentally imanyanna ka wo constituency nyin ka face ensa brother ensa exactly brother ensa I'm telling you my brother I'm telling you so ngafali no ko ñu kam fo Adama Barrow wolo ñinti ko ya jamme man soksi damento iti nyanna ka subsidy bolto ke nyanna ke parele so nyimu fan san samulti nanteng nyimbilo nyimu fan san samulet nyimu fan san bilolet nyimbilo nyimu fan san bilolet kukili ni kambenda wala nyimbiloto from number 1 to 16 from number 1 to 16 abe mu fale sileti only one part wala mu state funeral I agree with them on that no mansal no matter the offense that they committed during their time in the office no matter the bad acts ke yemeluke I will agree with the bill that we must show them that little respect not for them or their behaviors kabribe masakunda watomen but because of the position that they once hold kajeko to respect that position to respect that office I will agree with the bill that the former presidents must be entitled to state funerals wakai mom I will agree with the bill but now mango from number 1 to number 16 abe nonsense kensing abe nonsense number 1 to number 16 abe nonsense ye nonsense so for 16 times nonsense so Dawda Jallow aning Adama Barrow la molo ye nonsense so 16 times paper ko yobala abe nonsense total nonsense Adama Barrow Fatima Barrow Adama Barrow ani Sadio Barrow so ñun leen fisatan tol bama wolti anin tol fama wolti ñun leen fisata wolti ñun be man sayala wato menna mulka namo men bejo ye kodo ñinta ka besunya ye kodo ñinta yake adiyate nyamen mote kuno lage because they had that executive power when they were in the office so when the presidency also ended yet still they want to continue exploiting the Gambian people. They want to continue exploiting the poor people, and they do not care. They know we are poor. They know there are families in the Gambia, many alongo, they go to bed without proper supper. There are families, there are children in the Gambia, many alongo without proper breakfast. There are people, there are students, there are kids in the Gambia, many along willing without being provided with lunch money or breakfast money. Because if amalo, their profession is a different one. They are teachers, they are police officers, they are nurses, so illa salary muka be ofano. Kame ofano wala mkontom bakilon te anisima bakilon. Sasa fong be sasa da nuwo fong yema. Ala le dani pour ala ya kendi andi kam Adama Barrow le fisara wonti ba Fatima Barrow wala fisara o musul men katara banjuni den gadi no kono ba o musul men katara banjuni den gadi no kono andum Adama Barrow ka wala la sene fi muta ka duma la state abso nyin kono ngaf $150,000 so mendial every single month aka wala la sene fi muta ka fenka barata ka 150,000 o men soto Womusol Castrogulu, that 150,000 Dendi Basotola, it takes them 20 years before they would be able to gather that $150,000. Womusol, 150,000 Dendi Basotola Gadinoto. It takes them 20 years, 15 years Dendi Basotola. Is Adama Barrow's wife better than those women? Is she better than those women? Is she better than those women? Mol men ya lonke be wafiro la marché wol kon ibe barule la tarola mol men kata kungo do bindele be barule tarola menu ka sa giol wafi be barule la tarola police wol men kalo tilo kono sama ke bude hani fengo fongo tege ka fanya dile dula fongo tege be kala ga sidamento. We are seeing videos everywhere. All the streets in all the municipalities, in all the highways are dilapidated. Gambia, there is no proper transportation in the Gambia. There is no proper communication system in the Gambia. Those are not his problems. And he is the president, the executive president, the one in charge of our entire taxation in the Gambia. Adama Barrow is not thinking of fixing those problems, janning our term in office adebanna, but he could come up with this dubious bill, kajeko mungo, to kafongo sansang, to wato me yalonko abebola mansayalo. This is how selfish Adama Barrow is. This is how selfish Adama Barrow is. Adama Barrow ni UDP la executives. Some of you who were accusing UDP la leadership Komongo, they were not fair to Adama Barrow. Now this is your answer to demand that Algamen defend. This is your answer to Adama Barrow la attitude. This is your answer to Adama Barrow la second nature. You have your complete set of answers on who is Adama Barrow now. Alias stop the UDP la leadership point. You know, Ngalonko, most of them were not sincere at all. Some of them, well, they are somehow objective. But UDP was never the problem. UDP meant well for the Gambia, and the tax that Gambia will come in, let it go back to the Gambian people and benefits the very taxpayers. That should be the vehicle policy. Amadou Sane vehicle policy ni menkamana kaje komongo banko la kodo akana dum kuol kuna menialo ko ite kala ka fengulu banko e. Leadership matters a lot, but Karamfana is very, very important. Expertise, it is required in the government. Seriously. So Amadou Sane ko nyimoto balu janim bebe borid lambe fuelo jele kuna mbe maintenance le be sambala jana. Why not ngawul talabang bawo nyimoto mo ka fendu ni banko e directly? Why not ngamutol la fengul talabang? Kodoni manka du motol la samukuna ke maintenance ka fuelol keje wokodoni sa domandi landinole that could go to another sector kawo sector nyinta ka develop for the betterment of the entire nation. But they see that as a seeds of their comfort. They see that as a seeds to their fake life, to their how to call it, show off lifestyles. Women a lifestyle nyinta ka shoot. This was the first problem that existed between UDP executives and Adama Barrow. But many people blamed UDP simply because they thought UDP was trying to undermine Adama Barrow's leadership. Let's agree that Almang agree UDP was never trying to, how to call it, undermine Adama Barrow's leadership. But let's agree that Albert Malesai, you were not sure for UDP left or for UDP Malafola. Now you have your complete sets of answers. Some of you have your answers. I direct you people to go and look at this former president's bill and be your own judge. And while you are reading the bill, think of your father. Because Adama Barrow is someone's father. Think of your dad and think of your mom. Where this bill left your mom and your dad. You think of that, you will get your answer. You will know how selfish demand we're talking about is. Albalonal, how selfish this man is, Adama Barrow. Albalonal, how selfish Adama Barrow is. Adama Barrow is not thinking about you and I. How difficult, basic living condition that Gambia nyame. That is not Adama Barrow's problem. Yet, Adama Barrow has 3 more years to go. But you see, our directional, our intentional, are well cleared, are well known, are well designed. Adama Barrow is thinking of something different than bettering the lives of Gambian people, than bettering the lives of you and I, our parents. Adama is not thinking of leaving any legacy Mayalongo is going to be worthy celebrating. Adama do not care. We are talking about the education system now. Just 2 months ago, grade 12 results were published. Gambia was among the worst nations many alongo a contest in the worst examinations. That do not concern Adama Barrow. What are the reasons for that? What could we do? Because obviously Gambia needs to invest into that education system. We need to redesign that curriculum. We need to rethink and come up with new ideas. We need to upgrade our syllabus. But all these things will require support. Ministry will support to be able to achieve that. Without support, education is always expensive. So but look at the bill that they are designing. Every single month, Adama Barrow was a gradual upgrade on the school. The schools are complaining. Last month, the schools are complaining, both the junior and the senior schools are complaining that in Yanaka Kodo Minister of Government Bulokono to be able to furnish their schools, to upgrade their laboratories or their classrooms, Wafamukana Gambia anymore. Imuka Famosato anymore. And we are sitting here, expect those students to do better. That's why even if you go to schools like Nusrat and the others, some of those schools, Ndola Taimol, there are badges many along. You have like maybe 20 something A1s. Well, at least you have like 16 A1s. At least in 4 or 5 subjects. But now Nibo Satla school, including Nusrat and Gambia Highs, 2 A's long, 3 A's, all the other ones. And rarely previous to know like I told you, mom fails in maths and English. And the most worrying thing is, even their specialized fields, you specialized in doing commerce subjects so like accounting, economics, business management, cost accounting, commerce as a subject, you see pass. At the end of the day, you cannot even tell. Ibe fengala no kamun fil la fang major at the university level. At the end of the day, imuka entrance no university. This year, more than 80% of the schools, high schools, many are lonko, even their first and the best results, many are sort of eligible to have admissions at the University of the Gambia. This year, look at it, this year, 80% of the schools, in the first and the best results, will form and qualify for admission to the University of the Gambia. How pathetic that is. But that is the reality. But that woman ke Adam baru la concerned. Adam la concerned momenti. Abe baru la na banko la nyameng. Fojande lumen na be fala. Bari akweda mako ningin bilonying apasta. Dipitelu lakira aning Gambia dingul be aning Gambia dingul babala nyoto. Bari Adam baru akweda malako ninga wobade banko ba fontin la bandale fente fo haramu. Kurano bakara na kunna. Ani ala muso be ningin bilo pasta. Dipitelu albal la kuwo soto lal di dunia kono janal kafa bari adama baru akoy dam mako woni ngo badel menna fo ben teltara balulu ne faten la barule bara akoy dam malako mo banko bo funtindi la ite e balu mol la ite be sangita lu ni fen andum ite la donko ya taymo ita kan donko ya men beke salo fa mo fanga bakema e ite be sangita lu ni fen fo jandi lu men ne be fa le te be haramo do mo kam fo fa wallahi banko be funtindi la na bandal way banko be bon la na bandal la men jabi Lamin ya jame manke na problem oti because ya jame be siri equatorial Guinea le nyimbilo na pasta e benefit ala na man pass ate benefit la bilo nying memba koma wala mun na problem oti wala mu adama baroti ya jame is not our problem anymore. The only problem that we have with ya jame is the victims, and we shall continue pursuing that. Kaje komongo justice must serve, justice must be given to the victims. Wala mal mun na problem oti ya jame la sai but na man ko wati below Nyame, Yajame is not our problem. Yajame is sitting far from the Gambia, all the way down to Equatorial Guinea. Yajame is sitting walato. He knows nothing about this bill. He has no connection or whatsoever with these people. So Ibeni below the Dakane, Adam Mabaro Nyame, he is not, Amantra below in the Dakang, Puru Yajamela sake. Adam Mabaro being below the Dakane for his own sake. So eventually, Yajame be benefit lagele by accident. Yajame be benefit lagele by chance for better wording. But now this bill is never intended for Yajame. It's never intended for Yajame. So we have no reasons. We have no reasons Kajakomungo to blame Yajame on this bill. The only problem that we have is Adam Barrow. Below nonsense below from number 1 to number 16. Abe nonsense. The only people you can blame are Adam Barrow and Dawda Jallo. Because this is drafted by Dawda Jallo and signed by Dawda Jallo. Yes, Honorable C.D. M. Keita, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. Yes, but C.D. Keita Dama Rafengala and Dawda Jallo because Dawda Jallo is the lawyer for Adam Barrow. Yes. So ila fraka ni December judiciary below fana mbegele yalo ala ko bakane ko yo bilo nyi député yo fay bandal badi ba bilo nyi murundi kanda ko rek ibani nyi be murundi la nyola ñu lafta kay yabunne Gambia di ngulu ale nga funding aleta silo kam baleta protest nyi bilo nyi ngata député bu ngoto lu ngolu na ale fundim bang aleta député bunguto aleta protest ale funding aleta député bunguto aleta protest to go and show solidarity with the taxpayers. You go and show your solidarity with the taxpayers. Ali funding adol men kana mo jo nyimbilo nyin kata kacha député bunguto lumena aleta lo député bunguto aliye kumbo alba kumbo la muna kama alla namo tina na fala fu janni dunya be kirla lumena me president jella sol la janni dunya bana lumena wo president won ni la musol be na fala nyina fu janni dunya bana lumena nyin no sensi fe maka de dollar yes president wol kela president wol ka incentive so sotole yes president wol ka incentive so sotole ben yalon ko they are the ex-presidents in many countries. But amukake ko mongo nyin nonsense o amukake nyin nonsense sifat e ka mendi former president wala jama bije bukake la moneti ila fonkolati baluwati ka ko do mesoto banko bulo kono but adama baro ka ko do men fon demand jam anenga ka luxurious lifestyle aka membe require jam e ka jela ko adama baro is a selfish soul, is a heartless soul, so wala mo wonyinti ngara ka men ka jam sama fana ninga wato so do minala ka judiciary below nyim fanan karam, and I hope na parliamentarians will listen to the people of their constituencies, because I'm very sure momo yalo go sondo mo bela ko bala jam handi mo NPP de walati ibajila ko mo nyim below ayna alpha len neng ay reform len neng. This below is an insult to our personalities. It's an insult to our citizenship as Gambians. Wale asamo atetambita sites lale. But surprisingly, if I'm many alongo, they would back Adama Barrow on this bill. It is only Kungo Mirala, it is only Sama Mirala, it is only Dunia Mirala. Yalong Balu Bolanyam. Hanita ye Karua. Yagale hanni safarola ke buko bala ye number 1 safijam ye number 2 safijam ya itandi modo le ko nyindomu wanda ti nyindomu tulale e be kalle alalale ya foy ko nyimmanke wanda nyimmo leta nyimmo fungola ti folati e be kal alalale ya foy ko wonte so abo nyamale. But I still want to believe that large chunk of youths when you are okay NPP, they could think independently and then do a constructive judgment on issues many along they are this critical to the future of our nation. Looking at the bill, akamo kamfa bagal. Bari ala baraka bake tolmen yalon ko albe jibero la saindeng Omar lum abaraka lamin jabi, thank you bro. Ala baraka bake Modou Maron ala baraka bake Fodeli Ensa ABC Sebora Ensa baraka bak jabi, thank you. Sabs apps mbadi kiwe nyari baraka Fadu Sise baraka bake Ibrahim Mane Moses Sise Karamo Sise Musa Sise Tafasira mbadi ndafa we nyari njay Mane nyima Mane Jaju baraka bake Tafasira Omar Fati, thank you. Mamon ndinki we nyari sen Fati abe nyari coordinator Pabo era Sane Mr Sane baraka bake ngo bari meje ko Mr Sane bari meje Zurich de munagara ngay meje Zurich Lamin Konde baraka bake, thank you. Ayuba Omar Sise, thank you Ayuba. Lamin Conte ala baraka bake man, thank you all man. Battle lel jekam man, so ngalan dolo jibero la, but unfortunately man ratol jekam. Gasama Muhammad ala baraka bake, thank you so much for joining. Ansa ngal sa programo siano la nying naka jamfale anyan naka futa na dipirelu male, so al programo nya ala sia nimmem fan sa continuo audio, it's going to be very good. Yake or nimmeng sake no audio then most Asia WhatsApp group all kono, because some of these things needs to be heard by everyone. Ngasian na local groups all kono na dipitelu bebe na new group mesang kono le e bajala ko isa kalamda how important it is to listen to the people on the matters me along ka beni biloni na koto. That would be really important for you. Okay, wala mo ko direct be meitandila at this point. So ala baraka bake for so many ala sondang kananang kaw bildo nyi fana na ko nyinta mem mo judiciary bilo nyinti BBC bari sama fana ni alsonda mina na judiciary bido ni fana da nga nyabe bondi nyokono namol ba faham la kam menna nga be bondi nyokono bajela ko ya understand so ala baraka ba assalamu alaikum atol men fana be jibero la YouTube thank you so much albe ya baraka ba ke albeya baraka bake badara thank you yeah badara adama baro benda bangoti nyakan you know badara mbedele jokan YouTube yes thank you so much ngalongo people are watching there but unfortunately man re tol jekam but be albe konton na momo ya ko be jibero la YouTube fana and don't forget to subscribe al nibe be jibero la man subscribe page yoto I'll subscribe because that is a way of supporting us in building the platform where we have to build this platform so ala baraka wake mbal konton na bake mbal tentula mbal jayila keep sharing the program and keep subscribing to our channel bekalakana time to time and to make you people kalya understand sana fana binala temela bake I believe all about it. So we're gonna come back on our programs. Kajeko kana pejo ni balundu kotake pejo ni balula bakel kan pejo warol fele manjamba and we are ready to kick start this year ni also the 2026 fendal dana because better rally crown ne full force so 2026 campaign you guys alsulata fenna alsulata kaje nyameng with quality albo sorola ninga boda alabala from UDP TV media we are getting there all the plans are the plans are in motion kaje kumongo we are able to do that and nabada alabala what a baila so because we are committed alialo nyama we are committed tumando nanamo kasi abake but all the times nyaje manna rek alonko we are into something all the times niaje manna longo we are into something wala mkuwa nyindi so ala baraka bake thank you so much thank you ala baraka